I was at a show or concert and they asked, who wants to come up on stage and dance? My little hand would be the first one raised in the air. As dancers, we all have a tendency of comparing ourselves to others. So a lot of people always ask me how I juggle multiple hobbies at a high level and still get great results, and my answer is always time management. I did not start off at the top and had to definitely work my way up, and as I got older, that's when I started to feel that pressure, and at one point it got really bad. So my advice to anyone trying to reach their goals and dreams in competitive dancing and or show dancing is to... Hello everyone, my name is Coyne. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Irvine, California. And in my episode of Journey to the Stage, I will be discussing how I juggle multiple hobbies at a high level, how I cope with pressure, and how I climb my way to the top of the box. I hope you all enjoy my journey to the stage. So I started dancing around the age of 2.5, and I started off with Mommy and Me classes in tap and ballet, and around the same time I saw Irish dancing for the very first time at the parish fair at my church, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And after a few years of convincing my parents to let me start Irish dancing, at the age of 5, I started classes and I never looked back. After starting at the age of 5, I moved through the grades fairly quickly. I remember one fest specifically where I got all first and being so excited because I finally moved up to novice and got a sparkly dress. My mom was really surprised because she definitely thought it was going to take longer, and she also had to buy me a solo dress. And a few months later, I went to my very first Oireachtas and placed in the top 5, and ever since then I've placed in the top 5 at every single Oireachtas, and now I'm a 5-time Western Region Oireachtas champion, a 3-time North American national champion, 4th in the world, and I just recently won the All-Irelands this year. My journey outside of the Irish dancing world has been an amazing one, and I'm so grateful for that. Ever since I was 7 years old, I've been a dancer and actress in LA, and I'm currently represented by the Movement Talent Agency. I also attend an art school called Orange County School of the Arts, and I'm in their commercial dance program where I'm able to train in ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and many other different dance styles. Ever since I was little and started training in all these different styles of dance, I always loved choreographing and fusing other styles of dance with Irish dancing, and that has really helped me along my dance journey. I've been able to dance with Justin Bieber on his World Purpose Tour in Orlando thanks to my fusion choreography, also be a Young Arts finalist for 2 years in a row, the Orange County World Cultural Dance winner, and be one of the grand prize finalists for the Music Center Spotlight Awards, which was a huge honor, knowing that so many other amazing people have also received this award, like Misty Copeland, Adam Lambert, and so many others. But all these would definitely have to be some of my favorite highlights of my dancing career outside of Irish dancing. I did not start off at the top and had to definitely work my way up. I was very lucky to have ballet and tap, which has helped me with my Irish dancing from the very beginning. But a challenge that I faced and continue to face is my flexibility, which is something that I have to continuously work at. But once I started focusing more on my ballet training and my fitness, that's when I really saw my results improving. And with my rising success, that came with more challenges. One of them specifically being a lot of people doubting me, saying that I couldn't do all these different styles of dance and still be successful. But I'm glad that I overcame that, pushed all that negativity aside, and proved them wrong. So a lot of people always ask me how I juggle multiple hobbies at a high level and still get great results? And my answer is always time management. This is something that I was very lucky to have been taught from a very young age, just because I always loved doing so many things at once. But having planners, writing stuff down, and even making vision boards have really helped me stay focused and organized when juggling all my different passions. So I prioritize my commitments by season. Luckily, most of my commitments are seasonal. So for example, leading up to a big Irish dancing major, Irish dancing is obviously my focus, but in that time period after a major, I really tried to take advantage of that free time to focus on my other commitments and dance styles. But no matter what, my education is always my first priority, because it is very important to me and I know it will be valuable to me in the future. Winning the All-Irelands this year would have to be one of my favorite moments that made all my sacrifices feel worth it. I was surrounded by all my friends, teachers, my mom, all the people that I loved. And going into the competition, I really just wanted to place in the top 10, knowing how I placed last year. But to win the entire thing was absolutely surreal, knowing that being at the top of the box at an overseas major is something that I had been working towards since I was a little girl, and knowing all the sacrifices I made, my teachers made, my family has made, it was just an incredible experience, and I am so grateful for it. As dancers, we all have a tendency of comparing ourselves to others. So my advice to anyone trying to reach their goals and dreams in competitive dancing and or show dancing is to focus on yourself and focus on improving yourself. Because if you're too worried about what everyone else is doing, you won't be able to get where you want to go. How I stay focused with all my successes, it's all really in my personality. I'm kind of an overachiever, so I'm always looking for the next challenge, the next thing I want to accomplish, so that really helps me stay focused. I performed with A Taste of Ireland in New York City, and it was honestly the best experience. The entire cast was so kind and crazy talented. I had the best time performing with them. So the question, what is your biggest disappointment to date? This one was a hard one to choose, just because I have faced many disappointments over the years, but I always try to see these as an opportunity to improve and use it as motivation to work even harder. But one specific time was when I didn't place in the top 10 at the All-Irelands in 2019. I was really happy with my dancing, and so were my teachers, and based on how I placed last year, I was really hoping for a spot in the top 10. But I got off the plane from Ireland on Friday, and there was a fesh that weekend, so I got my butt up to that fesh that Sunday, and I was back in the game, because this is just like riding a bike. You fall off, but you gotta get right back on. And the next year, this year, I won the All-Irelands. So that just goes to show that, yes, we all face disappointments, but as long as you use it as motivation and not let it get you down, you can really achieve anything that you set your mind to. A normal week in my life without COVID is pretty busy. From 8 to 2, I have my academic school day, and then from 2 to 5, I have my dance program at school. And so after dancing 2 hours already, I head over to my Irish dance studio, where I have class from 5 to 8:30. So a pretty long day, and then after that I head home and I stay up pretty late to do all my homework. And then of course I also have my dance classes on Saturday and Sunday for 4 hours each. So long week. But with COVID happening, I always try to switch up my schedule every week to keep things interesting, but I always make sure to incorporate exercise, fitness, and practicing into my schedule because those are very important to me, and I'm so glad that I have a practice space in my garage to do that. But I always love going on family hikes, going on bike rides, swimming and surfing, and just always finding different ways to stay active. When I was little, I was absolutely in love with dance. Any opportunity that I had to dance, I would take it and run with it. If we were at the movie theaters and the credits were scrolling and they had music playing, I would be at the front of the movie theater dancing. If I was at a show or concert and they asked, who wants to come up on stage and dance, my little hand would be the first one raised in the air. Or if there was a dress-up special at a fesh, I would jump at that opportunity to come up with my own choreography and get out all my dance costumes and just get up and perform. And as I got older, that's when I started to feel that pressure, and at one point it got really bad, and I remember my mom sitting me down and asking me, Maya, why did you start dancing? Like, make sure you remember why you started. And that is something that I have carried with me to even now. And whenever I feel that pressure, which is pretty often going into any competition, I always choose to ignore it. Ignore what others are expecting of me and focus on doing what I love and doing my best. And that is how I cope with pressure. This has been my journey to the stage, and I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, be sure to subscribe below to see next week's Journey to the Stage. Bye!